Can you tell us right now what conditions are like in Iberia Parish?
In Iberia Parish right now, to be honest with you, the wind is actually down a little bit from what it was a bit earlier. But the concern that we have in Iberia Parish, of course, is the Hurricane Laura, but we're really concerned about the storm surge that we're going to have in Iberia Parish, because the similarities between Hurricane Laura and Hurricane Rita it's very, very similar. So we have actually issued a warning to try to get the people that live in the low-lying areas and the people that had, flooding, that type of stuff that took place with Rita to try to evacuate. That time is, of course, coming short because the weather is not going to get any better than what you see right now. But the concern, again, in Iberia Parish is going to be more of the storm surge. We're concerned, again, about the winds and the rains and all of that. We're going to get all of that. We've prepared. We've been having meetings since last Thursday or last Friday with the Department of Health and Hospital, the Sheriff's Department. Now we have the National Guard involved in what we're doing. We've been working with the governor's office. We spoke to the governor earlier this morning, Lieutenant Governor, Congressman Brave, Congressman Higgins, the whole 9 yards. So we really prepared, I think, for whatever is going to happen in Iberia Parish. Of course, the big deal is when you start to do, if you have to do search and rescue, and where you bring people from there. So that's our main concern right now, is how we're going to handle the aftermath of the hurricane once the hurricane passed. And when I mean aftermath, I mean search and rescue if we have people that didn't evacuate and things of that nature.
Yeah, and I'm sure that we've talked to a lot of officials who have said that it's going to be difficult to reach a lot of the people who would need to be rescued for some time, as we're continuing to fight things like that storm surge and flooding and winds.
Right, and what we've done, we got with OEP, and we have high water vehicles. Our Sheriff Department have high water vehicles. So we're prepared for that. We have really been going through this for a while. Iberia Parish, for the last 4.5 years, we train every year with what we call H minus 120 hours before a hurricane make landfall. The different types of things that we need to do, what hour we need to do a declaration, when we need to check the generators, when should we implement our shelters if we ever need things like that. We have annual contracts with a shelter up in Monroe. So we have been doing this for a while. So this is pretty well not routine, but we go through this procedure quite regular.
Now, you mentioned to me just a few moments ago that you guys had a meeting to try to prepare. Can you tell me anything about that meeting and your plans from that?
Okay. If you're talking about the meeting that we had today, or are you talking about meetings that we have annually?
Yes, the meeting today.
Okay, the meeting today, we had a meeting today at 10 o'clock, 10:30. We had another one at 4 o'clock. Those were meetings that we started off with Roger from the National Weather Service, and we went through all of that. But once those meetings are over, then we have another room where the I'm going to call it leadership team, crisis leadership team, get together, and we start to figure out what it is that we need to do. In that particular meeting, we have the sheriff, we have the Homeland Security guy, we have the fire chief from Iberia Parish, we have different mayors that actually come. We have our hospital CEO, Iberia Medical Center, that's there. We have our legal team. We have our CERT team, which is the community emergency response team. So we all get together and discuss from what the information that we heard from the National Weather Service, and we'll figure out what it is that we need to do in Iberia Parish, and that's what we did.
Okay, is there anything that you think is important that you really want your residents to take away from this today?
Yes, I want the people that live in Iberia Parish, south of Highway 90, south of Highway 14, to, if they can, and if they experience any type of flooding conditions for Rita, they really need to try to get higher ground, or if they feel that their home can't withstand the hurricane, they really need to try to evacuate. And again, that time is running short. We don't have much time now before we get to where you just can't leave anymore. So just prepare yourself. If you need anything, make sure you call 911, and we're going to do whatever we can. Of course, we can't go out when the conditions get bad for any type of rescue, but as long as we can, the sheriff is he's prepared, he's ready, he have his team together. The fire chief is ready, they have their team together, the Acadian ambulance is ready. So we prepared to get the calls that we're going to get and try to address those calls the best possible.
Okay, I know you guys are standing by, being as prepared as you possibly can. Thank you again so much for joining us today, Mr. Richard.
Actually, I'm at home getting my suitcase so I can go to the 911 center for the night.
Oh, you are ready for it.
I'm ready.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, we just heard from Iberia Parish President Larry Richard, and he's talking about preparations over there.